Hello, welcome back to the channel, and we are doing another vintage cube draft. And without further ado, we'll just go ahead and jump right in. What do we got in this pack? So I see a few options. We've got a couple of lands, Rogran Triumph and Meticulous Archive. I do like Surveil lands. The Triumphs keep you open. We have the Pyrogoyf, extremely powerful red card. Ketramos, standard and modern, especially all-star. I'm happy I just recently acquired my playset for if I want to do that for modern season, but we'll see. We got Snuff Out, really flexible removal spell. If you're in black, just a free spells are broken, and being able to destroy anything, well, I guess a non-black creature is just for no mana at all is very impressive. But I am gonna go ahead and take the Pyrogoyf. Pyrogoyf comes down, deals like on average 3 to up to 5 damage to any target. And then there are some other synergies. There's other Lurgos in the cube. So yeah, splashable. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and start with that. So the cube's only out for a couple more days. I think they have some sort of flashback draft for the next week. And then it's time for Dragonstorm Tarkir, and I'm going to be doing a lot of draft videos for that, or at least trying to, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And with that, moving on to the next pack. So we got a couple choices, and I don't think it's close. I'm pretty sure it's just Fourth Aerlingus. This card is powerful, splashable, good early, good late. Makes 2/2 red human knight creature tokens with trample and haste, or makes X of them, and then get the monarchy. So you introduce that into the game, but if you're on the aggressive, yeah, this card's really strong. Chain Lightning, extraordinarily efficient removal spell. 1 mana deal 3s just to any target, and then with the additional text, like if they pay red, they can copy. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and take the Fourth Aerlingus. The card is incredibly strong. So we're going to try to stay red base, but we are open to being white base, and we can splash these cards or just be straight up Boros. I think that's the direction that we are leaning towards. Oh yeah, happy Band Day, by the way. Speaking of sowing Mycospawn, rip in Legacy. I don't really play Legacy, but I understand from the content I do watch on Legacy that this card is a bane of the format, or is that the right phrase? Whatever the right phrase is. So I guess it's good that this is gone. And then also the Troll of Khazad Doom. For Modern, which I care about, they did not unban the Deathrite Shaman, which a lot of people were expecting. I may or may not have bought a playset, but they banned Breach. Well, obviously that was going to happen, but you didn't come here for constructed discussions. We came here to third pick an Inti. It's not the most exciting pick, but it goes along with our first 2 picks. I think the most powerful card in a vacuum here is just Daze, but we're pretty far from that with our current start, and I'm totally happy with what we're doing now. And now we just get fed a Lelia, which will solidify us into red for sure. There's also a couple of fetch lands, which could be good if we take a Flooded Strand, or particularly a Wooded Foothills because it's red, and we find a Sacred Foundry, a Plateau, or an Elegant Parlor. We would just slam that. But I think Lelia she's not as good as she used to be. There are much better red 3 mana plays, specifically the Broadside Bombardiers and Gut. But Lelia is still very powerful, good source of card advantage, and combos with Inti in the fact that when Inti exiles cards, Lelia also gets stronger, so you can potentially attack. You go curve Inti into Lelia, you attack with a 4/4, and that's really strong with Trample. Skull Clamp 2, just a quick mention, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and snap up the Lelia. All right, there is a Galvanic Discharge, a energy enabler / payoff card. You can, it's basically a lightning bolt. But we're going to go ahead and take the Elegant Parlor, the Fourth Aerlingus. We really want to be able to play effectively. So we're just going to go ahead and take the Surveil land to enable that. We don't have to go super hard on fixing, unless we get just fed a ton of white cards, and then we end up in a kind of more 50-50 almost split between red and white, which is not super likely, I would imagine. We'll see what wheels from this pack. I mean, if we wheel like Overlord of the Mistmores and Cathar Commando, that might be a sign, but I'm not entirely convinced that will happen. All right, what do we have in this pack? Well, I think we're just going to go all in and take a Fire Blast and just try to be basically mono red splashing 4th Aerlingus. When you're super aggressive and then you're tapped out and your opponent's at like 3 or 4 life and then Fire Blast finishes off the job, yeah, incredibly powerful. Very flexible too. I mean, I've definitely cast this early game defensively. Sometimes you don't need your lands and you can just kill off their, I don't know, their Questing Beast or Ulvenwald Oddity or other insert 4-mana hasty guy here that's pressuring you if you're end up on the back foot, like they have interaction for your early plays. Or you just use it I've paid full cost for this. So yeah, really great card. We're going to take it. Hey look, it's Underworld Breach. Card just got banned. Card is completely broken. You ever play if you ever play that deck, it's really something. It's one of the most broken decks that I've ever piloted. I can go more into that some other day, or maybe never. I don't know. I'm just glad that Yawgmoth is not completely. We're gonna take a Chainsaw here. It's either Chainsaw or a Goldspan Dragon. Right now, Chainsaw is not the best removal spell, but it is better in a sense where we have a lot of creatures, and right now that's the thing we're lacking on. We passed the Chain Lightning, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chainsaw. We already have some pretty good threats. All right, this is a pretty easy Robber of the Rich. If we had some thoughts to splashing black or just being like Rakdos, Nethergoyf would probably just be better. Like if color were no object here, we would take Nethergoyf because it's a cheap threat and it goes better along the curve. We currently have no 1-drops, which we want to try to shore up. But Robber of the Rich, fine 2-drop, has haste, and it's red. That's basically the reason that we're playing it. Also, Luminarch Aspirant, very powerful. Like also more rawly powerful, I think, than Robber of the Rich. But anyway, we're just going to stay red. What did we wheel? We wheeled the Legion Extruder and the Saheeli Sublime Artificer. I'm going to go ahead and spec on the Legion Extruder. I don't think Saheeli, we're not quite doing the whole Saheeli thing. I mean, we have some number of cheap spells, but they're not cheap. And so that's really where you want this kind of thing. Or if you're doing like Busted Artifact things. We're not doing Busted Artifact things yet, but they have really been pushing that in red, and the Legion Extruder can turn like your blood tokens from your Voldaren Epicure into a 3/3. And it's also just a 2-mana deal too at the end of the day. It's definitely like cuttable, but it's not horrible. Okay, I guess we just take a Goblin Crater Maker here. The other option is a Ghost Vacuum as a flexible graveyard hate piece, but I guess we could just take the 2-mana 2/2, so decent threat, but it can deal either 2 damage to another creature, get rid of cheap spells or mana dorks, or blow up a colorless non-land permanent, and sometimes that can be really, really powerful. All right, nothing really for us here on the wheel. If we are going to end up more big Boros, I mean, I guess we just take Elspeth. I highly doubt Elspeth makes the cut based on our start. Same thing with the March of Otherworldly Light. You really need other white cards for this to really pop off, but we'll just go ahead and take it. All right, we wheel the Overlord of the Mistmores, but no, I'd rather take the City of Traders, especially because we have a lot of single-pipped, quote-unquote, expensive cards. Like with this, you can cast Alelion 2, Pyroglyph 3, etc. Not as good as an Ancient Tomb in that regard, since you only get really like a 1 or 2 time usage for it on average. But yeah, I still think that like our deck is set up well enough to do this. Okay, so pack 2, no power, but we have a couple of options. We have Burst Lightning, which we do need some amount of this effect, this kind of burn, cheap removal spell type of thing. goes well to support all of our threats. Like you kill their early threat, and then you get in with the hasty guy, and then you start tempoing them out that way and hitting harder than them. But I'm gonna take Amped Raptor. We also don't have the Galvanic Discharge, notably, but this card is just good on its own. Like, look at our deck. We have, of course, we have things that it will miss, but on the flip side, if you go Amped Raptor on 2 and you quote unquote cascade into, say, a Chainsaw to kill their 2-drop or an Inti, that's just completely busted. So I'm going to take, obviously, you can hit like Fourth Aerlingus or Fire Blast or Pyroglyph, and then you're kind of sad. But I think this is strong enough that I will spec on that over the Burst Lightning. Oh, look, it's Troll of Khazad-dûm. RIP. Okay, so now we have the choice between Arena of Glory and Kellen. Kellen's not the best 1-drop, but I think I'm still going to just go ahead and take it here. And remember, the cheaper the better, because we took that Amped Raptor, so we really want to load up on the 1s and 2s. Because I'm not sure that we're good. Like, we don't get Galvanic Discharge. We know that we don't have access to that. And we don't know how heavy and white we're going to be. It really just looks like we're going to be splashing the Fourth Aerlingus, and that's it. Like, I don't think we're going to be splashing, like, a Guide of Souls if we got it. Unless we just got fed, like, a ton of good fixing. So there's not really that much else we can do as far as energy is concerned. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and take the Kellen, because we really need to maximize the Amped Raptor is what I'm trying to say. There's also Arena of Glory. I think we can wheel it, but I think I'd rather just start filling out this part of my curve. Kellen's not the best, but it is completely serviceable. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a Magda here. There's not really much else in the pack. I mean, technically there's an Orcish Lumberjack, but obviously we're not doing that. We don't have forests to sacrifice. Magda is completely fine. Good to help ramp in a sense. And, we have like a cheap deck, so it's like, why do you need a ramp? But oftentimes in these aggro decks, you want to be able to double spell, and also the treasures can help, because I think we really, really want to play this Fourth Aerlingus for some power. Not like the Power 9, but just a really, really rawly broken powerful card. So this helps marginally with that. And then you want to double spell. You want to play like Pyroglyph. You play Magda on 2 and then Pyroglyph on 3. That could be really strong. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take the Magda here. Okay, I guess we just follow that up with the Karizev. There is a Static Prison to go along with the whole energy theme, and a Fabled Passage. If this was like a regular fetch land that touched red, or even a Prismatic Vista, I would take that over the Karizev. But obviously we're leaning to be a little bit more aggressive, so this is not really the type of Evolving Wilds variant you want, because it really does end up being Evolving Wilds. Because sometimes you're okay being stuck on 3 lands for a while, or 2 or 3 lands, and then the Fabled Passage just comes in tapped, and we already had the Elegant Parlor, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, surveillance are broken, but especially in an aggro deck, you want to limit the amount of tap lands. So again, if this was a Prismatic Vista or an Arid Mesa or any red fetch or Bloodstain, whatever, I would 100% slam it. But yeah, we'll just take another 2-drop, another aggressive threat. And again, we're just increasing the likelihood that Amped Raptor hits, so to speak. Okay, so now we have an interesting pick. And I think the pick is not so obvious because it looks like it should be Death Creature's Champion. This card's great. It's deceptively powerful. Either it's a 3-mana, 3/2, like double strike. That's kind of its baseline, which is fine. But ideally, you want to dash this, and it can push a ton of damage out of nowhere, especially if you put it on like a big trampler. So if we use in combination with Inti, you can just put a ton of damage on the table out of nowhere. I probably talked myself into it. The other pick is, oh wait, this is not Gaia's Cradle. Never mind. There's no decision here. I thought this was Gaia's Cradle, because I was going to say Gaia's Cradle is interesting because it essentially like adds a lot of colorless mana. So like in mono red and mono white, Gaia's Cradle can be pretty strong. Because even though it's like, oh, it's for a green deck. No, not necessarily. Because look, if we had Gaia's Cradle in this deck, you get a bunch of creatures, and then on turn like 3, you slam a Gaia's Cradle, and then you play a 4th Aerolingus for like X's 4 or something. That's ridiculous. So, but anyway, that card was not a Gaia's Cradle, so we are fine. I'm gonna go ahead and take these out for now. I'm going to take Detective's Phoenix here. You could also take Goblin Bombardment, but we're already pretty good on 2s. We need to start filling out other parts of the curve, preferably the 1s, obviously. But Shadow Spear is not really what we want to be doing, so yeah, we're just going to go ahead and take the Detective's Phoenix. It's totally reasonable. Now we get a Chandra. Completely fine, reasonable Planeswalker at the top end of the curve, along with Pyrogoyf. So yeah, go ahead and take that. Hey, look, it's loot. I love loot. But yeah, we're definitely not set up to do that. Bloodbraid Challenger would be pretty broken in this deck too, for the most part. But yeah, we're taking Oliphant. It is a quote-unquote fetch land for our Elegant Parlor. And in the late game, if you get there, it's just a big threat that gives other things trample. And trample is good. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Oliphant. We wield Burst Lightning. Fist Pump, very great. That is excellent. Tells me that red is open, which is good. So yeah, gonna slam this Burst Lightning. And we wield the Arena of Glory. Could take the Scrapwork Mutt here, but we are definitely gonna make playables. Like seeing how open red is. Now I think we're gonna get rewarded now in pack 3. So I might as well just take the value land that can give any of my things haste. Most of my things already have haste, like the Texas Phoenix and the dashed out Death Creatures Champion or whatever, but you know, we can give a Pyrogoyf haste. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take the Arena of Glory. Wow, we wield the Orchestra. We wield the red card, guys. We are doing it. No, obviously this is not really anything. So I guess technically we would do this right by hating away the Enduring Innocence if we were drafting in pod. But I want people to psychologically think, man, there's like no red. Stay out of red. I would take the Enduring Innocence there to hate that away if this was like a real pod draft. Take Arwen here for kind of the same reason. Like I don't want to play against life gain. There's a Zerda. So Zerda wield. So if we find a Grim Monolith or a Basalt Monolith, we could think about doing that for the potential for infinite mana. I don't know how necessary it is. I'm going to just leave it off to the side. There's Shadow Spear if we're going to face basically a mirror match. And Valky, last pick. Not doing that. Okay, so red dried up a little bit at the end there, but there wasn't that much red to begin with. So I'm totally fine. Just, yeah. I'm not too worried. We are definitely going to make playables, is what I am trying to say. All right, what do we got? We have Fear of Missing Out, and there's really nothing else for us, unfortunately. This pack it's powerful, but it's not good for our current position. This Taiga is not a plateau, unfortunate. We have Thoughtseize and Oko as the best cards. We have Tinker as an extraordinarily powerful build around. Stock Up is just seeing all the play in the world. Really, really great to just look at the top 5 and put 2 in your hand. It's like the best dig through time ever. And then I know we passed the Witherbloom Apprentice, so I don't know, maybe someone will be happy to have this Chain of Smog on like the 8th pick or something. I do quite enjoy that combo. It's very fun. But yeah, no, just a FOMO. All good. It's pretty good. There's an Othari. Oh, okay. No, there's a Fiery Confluence. So we're going to take Fiery Confluence here. Very strong at its base. It could be a 4-mana deal 6 to the opponent, which is a pretty good rate. Or you could do it in such a way that some of your creatures survive and theirs don't. You could deal like 2 damage and then your 3/3 survives. Something like that. Othari is kind of busted, but we already have some good hasty threats. Maybe we wheel Othari, maybe we don't, but we only have the one Elegant Parlor and the one Oliphant, so I really, really don't think we're going to be able to afford to play another White Splash. card. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and pick up the Fiery Confluence here. And okay, it's just Generous Plunderer. There is a Savai Triome, which does help with the fixing for the 4th Aerlingus, but then again, so does Generous Plunderer, and it is a threat. Probably just move the Zer to the sideboard. There's Urza Saga, but we don't have targets for it, so yeah, I'm just gonna take the Generous Plunderer here. Okay, pretty much as I love Smuggler's Copter, I think we're pretty much forced to take the Voldaren Epicure because, I mean, well, look at our curve. We really need to be able to act on turn 1 whenever possible, or not even act on turn 1, because with 3 1-drops, it's kind of unlikely we'll have one in the opening hand, but you really want to maximize the potential for double spelling. So if you get stuck on 3 lands and you want a 2-drops in hand, you can only cast 1 spell per turn, and that's not great. But if you can go, like on turn 3, you play 2-drop plus Voldaren Epicure, you set up for the next few turns. That's where we're talking. Also, a little bit of the mini combo, like I was talking about earlier with the Legion Extruder. I'm not saying the Legion Extruder is going to make the deck. In fact, it most likely won't. But if we get enough stuff, I could see it being a thing. So not the most exciting pick, but I think Voldaren. Oh, look, it's Gut. Voldaren Epicure is, I was going to say, not that great, but Voldaren Epicure is my absolute favorite card to pair against Gut. This card is absolutely broken beyond belief. Whenever you attack, you can sacrifice another creature or an artifact. So, like the creature and the artifact that the Voldaren Epicure makes. And if you do, you create a 4/1 black skeleton creature token with menace that's tapped and attacking. Now, notice I did not say then it gets exiled or sacrificed at end of combat. So you just get a 4/1 with menace, and it's not like it gains menace until end of turn. No. It just has menace always. You get it for next turn. You don't even have to attack with the card's broken. This card's insane. So we're going to take it. Sorry, I got a little worked up there. Okay, taking another free spell in Pyrokinesis here. It's I was going to say like it's Fury at Home or Bad Fury, but the instant speed aspect is nothing to sneeze at, and it's basically it. It's nice to have this kind of effect at instant speed. Okay. Well, there's a Basalt Monolith and a Plateau. Basalt Monolith, again, if we did want to go for like the infinite combo, but I don't think that's necessary. We already have great cards. So yeah, I don't think it's necessary for us to go that route. Like, obviously it'd be powerful to cast like a giant 4th Aerlingus, but if we just curve out and play a 4th Aerlingus for X's like 3 or 4, we should be completely fine. Or, 2 with some backup. Anyway, I'm going to take the Plateau. There's Bone Crusher Giant and Carnage Interpreter. Those are both strong, but now we are completely great on... We have 3 sources for white for 4th Aerlingus, and then that's just perfect. And again, those 2 cards were good, the Bone Crusher Giant and the Carnage Interpreter, but we already have, we're going to have to make some cuts. So I'm not particularly worried. Take a Firebolt here. Good to fill out the 1-drop slot. We wield, well, there was nothing here originally, so we'll go ahead and take a Taiga. I guess theoretically, Savine's Reclamation could like revive a thing, but I don't know. Is there any reason at all we would want green? Not really. I don't know. We'll take the Savine's Reclamation. Nothing here. Chromatic Star does work well with Gut, kind of, but I feel like it's not necessary. We have enough expendable things. Okay, now we really have a green splash. We really, we're playing all the green cards today. I like Surveil Lands, but yeah, we're not really doing that. All right, I don't think we're getting anything for the rest. Oh, that could be a good sideboard card, actually. Loran. We have enough white fixing that we could justify siding in Loran if we're playing against like a uber busted artifact deck. I think we just bring it in case of emergencies. So yeah, that should be it. So let's see, we have 25 cards. Okay. So I think the first cut's going to be the Legion Extruder. We just don't have the artifact density to make this work. We did not end up in that style of deck. Like, it's good with Voldaren Epicure, and it's good with... Is that it? Oh. Okay, that's pretty... Yeah, Legion Extruder, easy cut. And we don't really need that 2-mana deal 2 or anything. So I think we can actually run it like this, because if we treat Oliphant as a land, and our curve is relatively low, obviously we wish we had a few more 1-drops. But these are free, so... And then this is maybe like a 3-drop. And then ideally we'd want to play the... Where is it? The Deathgreater's Champion like on 4. So curve's a little higher than I want. But we do have the City of Traders to help us excel. I think we're going to risk it and just go with the 16 lands plus the Oliphant. And I think that's fine. It's not like we don't really have any colorless... For example, we don't have any colorless value lands like Library of Alexandria or Strip Mine or Wasteland, which would incentivize me to go up to that 17th land. And I just think every other card... No card here is like absolutely busted incredible on its own, like especially on like the 1 and 2 mana slot, but just having that density. And I think with the 17 lands plus Oliphant, you could run into some issues. Curve is not as great, but maybe instead of turn 3 you go 2-drop into 1-drop, you go like 2-drop and then you Mountain Cycle, which is fine. So yeah, I think this deck is completely serviceable, and we'll just go ahead and jump right into the first match. We have a lot of cheap removal, so and especially with like the Fire Blast and the Pyrokinesis, we're going to be able to operate even when the shields are quote unquote down. Like, they'll think we're tapped out, but then we just Fire Blast their face to finish them off, or we Pyrokinesis away all of their board presence. And, we just get to play mono red today, which is really great, especially because they did not unban Monstrous Rage in Standard. How great is that? What a great day we're having. Okay, we lost a die roll, which is not good, especially because we don't have power. Like, we don't have any Moxen. Ooh, but this hand is nice. We get to go 1-drop into 2-drop, and same play pattern I was talking about, 2-drop into 1-drop, right? So this is exactly what we want to see. And then we really, well, I guess we want them to do nothing, obviously, like play a Surveil land. All right. Oh, okay, busted start. But hopefully they play like a... I was hoping they would play like a 2-mana 2/2, like a Caustic Bronco, and then just kill it and like tempo them out, but they didn't do that. So we're just going to go ahead and deploy our Ragavan at home, and then we'll see what happens, see if they have a removal spell. Okay, so they didn't play anything, which is good, but that probably means they have good 3-drop Palantir of Orthanc. Okay, that's annoying, but we should be able to outrace that before it becomes a problem. So basically with this card, you want to let them mill a few times before... Oh, cool. I took no damage. Yeah, you want to let them mill a few times before you start letting them draw like even 2 or 3 cards. It should be fine on average. I mean, if they flip over like 3 Eldrazi, okay, fine. You got me. Anyway, we're going to go for either the Generous Plunder or the Magda. I mean, obviously one of the 2-drops. Nothing has haste, so let's get the hard part out of the way, or the easy part out of the way. We're always attacking. I think we're going to go with the Generous Plunderer first, we don't necessarily... Well, actually, it kind of does both things. Because I was thinking of playing the Magda first. And then it's like, oh, then you can double spell. Well, with the Generous Plunderer, you can double spell, but they also have 2 artifacts in play. So this is going to really increase the clock on them. And or at least just like be a removal magnet, so that way we can get one of our other threats down. Okay, Esika's Chariot is definitely annoying. And then, yeah, it's good. Really, really good in this particular situation. So, no, I don't want them to draw. All right, it took 7. That's not good. I'm going to give them a treasure. It could be dangerous. But, again, we are just trying to make this work. Or we're trying to slam them for, like, a ton of damage. Okay, so we have access to 4 mana. So if I firebolt one of the cat tokens, then they're forced to... Oh, okay. Yeah. No, this should be fine. This should be fine. So yeah, let's play the land. Let's firebolt one of the cats. They're going to crew up the Esika's Chariot. Yep. But luckily, the Generous Plunderer has Menace. So now I can get in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. None of these have... Well, this has haste, but that's definitely not worth it. So we'll get in for 6. And then probably... Which one here? Maybe Karizev because it has Menace as well. It's either Karizev or like Magda. It also could be fear of missing out, discard Magda. But I think we're kind of in a racing situation, so I like getting the kind of more guaranteed damage output over the next couple of turns. Opponent's also in a lot of... They only have 2 cards in hand. They're in a decent amount of trouble here if they cannot deal with the Generous Plunderer. They're also using the mana I gave them. Troll of Khazad Dûm is large, but it's not horrible. They're going to crew. Oh, okay. They're going to crew and make a copy of the cat. Seems reasonable. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and yield through the turn here. We're not blocking. That's obvious. Okay. I think I have to let them draw at this point. We're low enough in life total that this could be lethal. So unfortunately, we're going to have to let them draw. I am going to give them more treasure. Ooh, Detective's Phoenix. Nice. So we cannot bestow it. So how do we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could just go... If we go Hasty Boys, swing out, what happens? Is that enough damage? So we gave them the treasures, so they currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 treasures again. Or, sorry, 4 artifacts, so that they got a virtual 8. We go Detective's Phoenix plus Robber the Rich, swing out. They can block 2 of the things... And then they take, so they block, say they block like Robber and Kellen. They take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 1 short. We're 1 short. Right? Let me just do that math again. So they have 2 blockers, Karizev and Generous Plunderer is going to do 4 damage to them, so they go to 8. And then I'm going to have... They're going to block Robber and Kellen. And then they take 2 from this, 3 from this, 5 from Ragavan, 7 from the Phoenix. So, yeah, 1 damage short. Very unfortunate. So we're probably going to have to... we're not going to do that, of course. So let's instead start with a fear of missing out. I mean, maybe we'll just find a Fire Blast and then the game is just over, right? So that's kind of the goal here. So we'll go again and get rid of Magda. Oh, pyrokinesis, perfect. That'll do it. So yeah, and then we can pitch the. Oh, no, no, no. Now we have the access to the Detective's Phoenix, and then we can give the Fear of Missing Out haste. Let's just go ahead and make sure that that's lethal. And the pyrokinesis is going to kill all of their things. So then we're going to be hitting for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, should be fine. Okay, as long as they don't have some kind of force of will in hand, we should be okay. So we'll go ahead and cast this. We'll deal 4 damage. Divide. Why would it do that? Why would you do that? Do that. Exile the Robber of the Rich. Kill those. Detective's Phoenix. Good combo with a pyrokinesis. Cast with Bestow on the Fear of Missing Out. Exile the pyrokinesis. And that should be lethal. Opponent needs... Okay. They need something right now. And we got it. Nice. All right. That was pretty close. So they have enough artifacts where we might want to bring in the... what's it called? The Lauren of the Third Path. I'm not completely opposed. I mean, okay, we really saw Essica's Chariot, and we saw Mox, but killing a Mox on turn 3, they've kind of already done what they need to. So anyway, there's the Mox Jet. There's Essica's Chariot is the big one, and the Palantir of Orthanc, which, like we saw in that game, it didn't actually add to the board, but it did pressure me a little bit. So especially being on the draw post sideboard, that could be something I'm concerned with. The question is, though, what do we take out? And remember, we only have like 3 white sources in the whole deck, one of them being a pseudo like tap, 2 of them being tap lands, right? In the sense of like Elegant Parlor and Oliphant. Or is like, I guess Oliphant with like a plateau is more like a filter land, but you get what I'm trying to say. So it's a real cost to include the Loran, and I'm not convinced they have enough targets that I really need to focus on that. I don't know. I could regret it, but I could, like in that game, I dealt with the Essica's Chariot pretty effectively by killing a cat, and then they can't make more, or then you pyrokinesis away there's a lot of ways that we should be just #fine here. So I don't think we need it. I think we can just run it back, and we were on the draw that game too, so it's not like, yeah, sounds fine. Hand is totally reasonable. At least we get to go Surveil on turn 1. Ooh, Skull Clamp. That's... Oh, no, 1 drop. Yeah, we're still going to go Elegant Parlor. Elegant Parlor, Firebolt. I think we do want that. Again, it's another art. Well, especially this Skull Clamp, we probably want to... Oh, God, Dark Ritual. Okay, what do you got? Gut? All right. Yeah, we gotta kill Gut. That's pretty rough that they get to just draw 2 cards, but I don't think we don't have the luxury of free will in this particular situation. Yeah, draw your cards, whatever. It'd be a sick draw is Gut, our own Gut, because then we just attack with Voldaren Epicure, sack the blood token, hit them for 5. That would be pretty hot. Let's see if we draw it. Boom. Nope, that's a chainsaw. Really close. So, let's see. I guess we'll bait the removal with Laelia and then try to go for 4th Aerlingus. I mean, it's the most mana efficient play. Like, we don't get the inherent value because we don't have like 0 cost things with Laelia, so we can't actually play the card we exile. But again, it's the most mana efficient play, and at least we'll get a little bit of value. So we don't necessarily want to draw that mountain. Also, the opponent had no removal, which I was kind of hoping that Lelia would be like a removal magnet, but you know, it's also better that they do that. Okay, I like to see that. Okay, we draw the land, which is good. So let's think here. So the Lelia is going to grow into a 4/4. So I can essentially make it trade with the Essicus Chariot if I chainsaw one of the cats. Alternatively, okay, we could do that. We could go chainsaw, do all that, and then follow it up with a generous plunderer, and then just try to pressure them that way. The other option is to like fear of missing out the generous plunderer, see if we draw something better. But no, there really isn't anything better. It's just like burst lightning, which essentially does the same thing as the chainsaw. So yeah, let's just play the land. Let's chainsaw. Let's just do that. Oh, I guess it was. You know what? That was a mistake because if the Lelia hits a land, obviously we missed out on that value. But that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and attack with the Lelia. Hopefully we hit, and of course Lelia might hit like a fire blast. Damn, it's a mountain. Well, that's what I get. Could have had that mountain in hand, which could be relevant for the fear of missing out, relevant for the fourth Aerlingus. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a mistake right there, but all good. We're still in a good position. Get to follow it up with a generous plunderer, and then our goal next turn. I mean, we're just gonna play like a giant fourth Aerlingus, and then we're in a really good spot. Okay, yeah, equip the cat makes sense. Next turn we could, if we don't draw a land, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could do fourth Aerlingus X is 3. They're attacking me. They must have some sort of board wipe. I'm not gonna block. I'm not gonna draw them 2 cards. Must be some sort of board wipe. What? That's weird. Well, I'm gonna give them an artifact. What could they have? They could have, well, I forget what it's called. It's the 1 black red instant, pay X life, deal X damage across the board. But other than that, what other instant speed board wipe? There's like Toxic Deluge that's not an instant. It's really weird. I don't know why they made that attack. There must be a reason, but I'm not going to stick around to find out. Maybe they're not anticipating such a big thing like fourth Aerlingus. Maybe they have like just a point and click removal spell. So anyway, yeah, we're going to go ahead and go fourth Aerlingus max value. They can't like daze me or whatever because they have no islands, so I'm not worried about that. And there's no white up, so no mana tithe. So yeah, we'll go ahead and they must have a removal for the generous plunderer, right? Yep, must have something. Yep, Harvester of Misery. That's fine. Ooh. Oh, wow. That was a great play. Harvester of Misery, shallow grave the Harvester of Misery. That was excellent. Yeah, that really that's not looking good for me. Okay. So, now what? I think we'll just go ahead and deploy these 2 2-drops. I really want to maximize the chances that FOMO just straight up draws me a card. Dang. Great play. Really, really exciting. Not having that other land is hurting. For sure. We're seeing the effects. Yeah, there's going to slam something really big here. What the heck? Ugh. Oh, boy. Yeah, I can't deal with that. I'm going to discard that. At least we get to grow the chainsaw to a point where we can equip an attack, I guess. That's something. It's not good. It's definitely not good. Let's see if I'm pretty sure they don't block here, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good. We'll just play the mountain and pass. It's not... Oh, they gain life, too. Oh, that's gross. Man. The Harvester of Misery really got me there. Yeah? Yeah, I'm just not gonna let them do that. I'm not... That's okay. Yeah, they're gonna reanimate the gut, and then they're just... Yeah, it's over. All right, anyway, moving on. Okay, so gotta be aware of that play. Just not thinking of that. Have a little bit better sequencing with the Lelia, but yeah, no, it should be fine on average. So I'm just gonna go ahead and submit. No worries, and we get to be on the play. Being on the play is huge. And this hand is very lacking. I mean, it has 2-drop into 3-drop, but this is not really like a card I want to play on 3. I think we have much better hands. We could do better. Yeah, this looks a lot better. So we'll keep... What are we putting back? We're on the... It could be the Generous Plunderer. It could also be the Detective's Phoenix. We don't currently have the means to like bestow this early. Like we don't have the Oliphant in hand. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Phoenix. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with a Kellen, and we do get to draw cards in the sense that we do have the Robber of the Rich, and we mold and we're on the play and we're dumping our hands, so therefore that's gonna happen. Okay, they do. Yeah, the Inquisition. I imagine they take Robber of the Rich every time here. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, we get the City of Traders. No need to play that this turn, but next turn we could potentially do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and just play out the Generous Plunderer and then hit them for 2. Okay, or not. So they do have the Snuff out. We did see that in game 1. Okay, not looking good for our hero, but it's not... Wow. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. We need something right now. That's a land. All right, well, it's okay. We're going to get that honorable 2-1. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. And they're going to play a big threat. Ooh, Fable. That's despicable. Yeah, all right. Let's kill it. Kill with fire. We don't need that around. Oh, FOMO. Okay, so we get to go Sea of Traders into... I guess just in case, we'll do tap the City of Traders for that. Get to draw a card. Could be good. Could be a land. Could also be a land. Not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. Gosh, now they get to draw a couple. Oh boy, now they just get to play a 2-mana 4/4 lifelink? Come on. That's rough. Get to play a 2-mana 4/4 lifelink into Fable the Mirrorbreaker discard cards? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, their hand's probably like fantastic now. They get rid of these bad cards, put good cards in the hand. It's not hopeless. It's not hopeless. Now it's approaching hopeless territory. But we fight. We will stay strong. We really needed like to draw gas for like 3 turns in a row to have a chance. Now things get pretty bad with the whole... Oh yeah, they're just gonna... Yep, they're gonna grow that, just really make this game a non-game. Reflection can start making copies of this and they just gain so much life. Fiery Confluence, you're way too late. I can't even deal enough damage to Okay. Well, okay, here's what I could do. So let's attack for 2. Like, at least I get to kill the reflection and kill the chainsaw. Okay. So let's go Fiery Confluence. We're going to deal 2 damage to each creature. And then we're going to destroy Artifact. So this will kill the reflection and kill the chainsaw. Not kill my fear of missing out. So now we just have to deal with the Metamorphosis Fanatic. Just. Not an impossible task, but just really, really hard. Okay. They just have nothing. And we continue to draw lands. Deck's not helping me out here. Opponent has no idea I'm on 3 lands. Yeah, they probably are very aware. They also just, maybe they're holding gas and they just don't need to play anything because all they have to do is repeat the play pattern here a couple turns and then they win. Oh, yeah. Joke's on you, buddy. I have nothing. All right, and big draw step. Okay. That's not nothing. That is actually pretty good. So we'll go ahead and do this. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I do want to. I think the City of Traders has run its course. So we'll do that. And then we will full cast a Fire Blast on the Metamorphosis Fanatic. We're still not winning this race, but we have a chance. We pretty much no longer have a chance. I was going to say, if my opponent played literally anything that cost mana, we were probably dead. Yeah. That's a lot of lands. That's okay. All right. No worries. So, mono red giveth, mono red taketh away. Yeah, that game 2 was really sick where, what was it? The Harvester of Misery discard and then the Shallow Grave bring it back. Yeah, very strong play by the opponent. This hand looks pretty good. Oh, look, my opponent is telling me good luck, have fun. I'll tell them you too. And this hand's fine, so we'll keep. We do get to go. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So we can go, well, Mountain Pass. That's obvious. And then we could go. That's a Plains. Could be a Mana Tithe. Okay. One option is City of Traders, Deathgreaves Champion, but I think I'd rather just go Mountain Inti. And then next turn we could go. Wow, it is Mana Tithe. Oh no. All right. Well, clearly we should have played the City of Traders into Inti. Well, that's all right. We're just gonna play around Mana Tithe next game. So now we can go City of Traders Pyrogoyf, which it's fine, but I think that's better than going like City of Traders double strike dash a Deathgreaves Champion. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that. Let's see if they have no reprieve, so that's good. Maybe they have like a Felia here. Nope. Okay, no 2-drop. Okay, they're white blue. Touch the Spirit Realm. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I think we'll just go ahead and could have Daze. Oh my god, if I get dazed here. But I really don't want to lose the City of Traders quite yet. No Daze, please. Okay, cool. All right, and then we will attack for 6. So there's a 3-turn clock. That's not bad. We have access to 5 mana next turn if we want. Okay, now they're probably gonna Loran's okay, perfect. Nope, this is good because now we get to go Firebolt the Loran and then just continue smacking them with the Deathgreaver's Champion. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna tap this for mana before it gets sacrificed. And then we're gonna dash out the Deathgreaver's Champion again. And then we're gonna hit them for another 6 points. They go to 6. So I don't have much, but I do have a 4 mana. It's a 4 mana deal 6, just like the Fiery Confluence, kinda. Okay, what is this? Teferi? Golos? Yeah, that's something. It's pretty good. Good defensive body against the Deathgreaver's Champion. Might have to... Ooh, Urza's Saga. That could be scary. We're definitely going to bring in Loran in this matchup. Huh. Okay. That's an option. Man, well, obviously if this was a 3-5 or 3-4, then we win the game, but unfortunately we don't. So now the question is, do I care about losing the... Do I care about killing, like, getting rid of my hand to kill the Golos? Because, like, I would dash in the Deathgreaver's Champion, they go to block, and then we Pyrokinesis, and then the Deathgreaver's Champion does survive. And then the chains, yeah, and then we have Firebolt coming up. I think it's fine to do this. So yeah, let's go ahead and dash it out. And then we'll back up here. And then we'll attack. They're going to go to block, because they have to. And then we're going to Pyrokinesis the Golos, getting rid of the chainsaw. Now on first strike damage, it dies. It's not great. Opponent, I mean, they have infinite, like, chump blockers in a sense with the Urza Saga. Fortunately, this does not have trample, but it seemed like the Golos was going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, they get a Surveil. All right. Well, we're just going to keep doing this. Hopefully their play is just to make a token and chump block, because if they're doing that with their mana instead of killing this, that's pretty good for me. Yeah, it looks like that's the case. Okay, that's fine. So they must not have too much else going on. And then we'll see what they get off of the Urza Saga. I imagine they make another construct, so that's another chump blocker. All right, and the Urza Saga is going to make something. What do they get? Retrofair Foundry. That's a lot of chump blockers. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. And they can grow this construct token. Yeah, we're in a bit of trouble here. That's a mountain. Don't like that. Well, right now we're okay to, I believe, just keep up the pressure. Orcish Bowmasters, yeah. Okay, they kill it. So we have outs. We can draw Fiery Confluence, and that's basically it. Oh, also Fire Blast. So we have Fire Blast and Fiery Confluence are outs because we had the Firebolt in the graveyard that we can flash back. Okay, well, Dark Depths, that's scary. I mean, also their board is scary. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm just dead next turn. Yeah, so, wow, they really turned this game around. Ocelot Pride. Sure. Fire Blast off the top one time. That is a mountain. We will go to the next game. All right. Very unfortunate. We are definitely going to bring in the Loran here. And then we're going to go ahead and take out, what are we taking out? Could be like Chainsaw. Yeah, probably Chainsaw. It doesn't line up favorably with a lot of their creatures, whereas Lauren does. Do we need to put in another Plains? How many red sources do we have currently? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, okay, it's 15. 15, 16. I guess technically we could put in a Plains. Not completely opposed, just to have one more white source for the fact that we're adding the Loran here. Could definitely see this working against us, but I'm willing to go for it. I mean, sounds fine. So, no turn 1 play necessarily unless they go turn 1 Mana Dork or like a turn 1 threat. We have Pyrokinesis to kill things. We have the Fire Blast, which would have been great at the final turn on the last game, but, you know, better late than never. And we have the Karizev. So, opponent's definitely thinking about their opening 7. Maybe it's a little slow, but they're going to see if they... Okay, they are going to keep. So we're going to go Mountain Pass. And then we'll see what they do. All right. Okay, Shock and Godless Shrine. Must be like a Thoughtseize effect. Ocelot Pride. Well, we have the removal for that. And now they're not holding up Mana Tithe, so we can safely cast our Karizev. This Chandra is probably going to end up being like Pyrokinesis fodder. Okay. Nothing crazy. At least we get a consistent clock. Okay. Not good. Okay, they have a removal. You know what? I actually think this is fine. So yeah. We're going to get our Plains. And then, yeah, we're just going to pass. So next turn, hopefully they like don't leave up Mana Tithe, and then we draw a land. Oh, that doesn't stop me from doing what I want. Zurin Orb, that means they have a combo, and we're probably... Oh, interesting. Sure. I'll take 7 new cards. Oh, and we drew the answer to the Zurin Orb. That seems pretty good to me. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I was thinking of saving the City of Traders, but the fact that we get to go Rob of the Rich plus Loran if we play the City of Traders, that makes it a little bit more tempting. Or not tempting, it just makes it more like the right play. So now we get to destroy the Zurin Orb. I really don't want them to, do anything weird. We go Robber of the Rich, and then we just slam in for 2. We get to draw, quote unquote, draw a card, and we'll see if opponent wants to see if they wasteland the City of Traders, then they're losing out on mana for the turn. So I think we're in a fairly decent spot. Opponent's a little deep in the tank. I can see why. I mean, they have a lot of Ether Spark. Little scary, but not too bad. They don't have a creature to attach it to. Do I bother, like, do I even have to bother attacking it? I don't think so. They're just going to draw 2? Yeah, this doesn't seem that great. I mean, I could kill it. I just don't think it's unnecessary. So right now, let's see. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potentially. All right. Well, we're just gonna go and play Lelia out, and then attack first. Yeah, we're definitely just gonna focus our efforts on them. I don't think the Ether Spark. The worst thing the Ether Spark does is like, get. It just draws them 2 cards. It's not. That's not that bad. Okay, what do we hit? Ooh, Securitron Squadron. That's pretty good. All right, so do that. Damage. So is it better to draw them more cards? Like if I hit a which one do I want to play? I guess I can wait to play the Securitron Squadron. I probably don't need to you know what? I think I will actually. I'll make us draw. Okay, there's an arena. Arena's pretty good. So yeah, let's just play out the we'll play the Arena of Glory, sacrifice the traders, go Magda, and then pass. Or do I want to firebolt their face right now? I don't think so. I'd rather them not know about it. Next turn we can haste. Oh no, I see. We can't haste out the Securitron. Maybe that was a reason I wanted to. No, I had to play Magda this turn. What am I doing? Yeah. So they're just gonna be. They basically had this be like a 4 mana draw 2 cards on your next turn's main phase. Not very strong. Obviously very strong in Ether Drift Limited, but not so much here. Okay, yeah, they do not have the means to stop this. I think me killing that Zurin Orb was really good. So hey, shout outs to sideboarding. Shout out to Loran. Very strong. Especially because I don't have any other ways to deal with artifacts. So yeah, that was pretty clutch. Yeah, I think we just go ahead and run it back. Unfortunately, we're on the draw. That Time Twister was utter trash for me, my opponent said. Yeah, it seemed like it. I'm gonna keep. It looks bad, but, you know, Voldaren Epicure makes a blood token. Fear of Missing Out can discard one of these excess mountains. So it's got a lot of... Oh god, it's an Ocelot Pride. Okay, never mind. Hand's bad. Oh boy. No, we should be okay. Fear of Missing Out will help a lot. Unfortunately, my Voldaren Epicure cannot trade favorably with the Ocelot Pride. Okay, they're just gonna hit me with the Pride. Do they have a follow-up? They don't. That's real bad. I could hope and pray that they don't have a Mana Tithe, but I don't think I have the luxury of playing scared. I'm pretty sure I just have to run into it. There it is. There's the Mana Tithe. Oh, this game's over. This game's over. That's okay. If we draw Plains next turn, we could go Fourth Aerlingus for 1. That's not even that good, actually. Yeah. Now Ocelot Pride just proceeds to solo me. Well, it's okay. Next turn, we get to hopefully find removal. I'm not blocking here. They're going to make... They're just going to pass the turn. Yeah. Oh, that is gross. Ooh, Fiery Confluence. Okay, we should be all right. Should be all right. Oh, everything's great. Everything's great. They only have 2 cards in hand. I was never worried. Don't think I was worried at all. Let's discard a mountain. See if we draw. Okay. Yeah, we'll bait them in the sense that, like, yeah, we really want them to bait them to play more cards to the board. Because otherwise, maybe they don't. Like, okay. Well, yeah, let's make him use like a removal spell or something. So if I double block the Ocelot Pride, then now the Ocelot Pride can only kill one thing. All right, great. Looks like they don't have anything. So, yep. And then Vlarn Epicure kills. Touch the Spirit Realm. Nice. Yep, that's pretty good. And they get the life gain. Man, it'd be a real shame if I had something that would completely annihilate their entire board. And then they only have one card in hand and can't recover. Man, wouldn't that be something? Oh, well, you know, too bad. Let's deal 2 to each creature and 2 to each opponent. Technically, I could blow up the artifact, but no, we need to kill this cat too. So yeah, 2 damage to each creature, 2 damage to each opponent. Goodbye. Excellent. All right, feeling good. If we ever draw a plains or a plateau, we are in complete business. Also, this makes treasure. Ooh, Death Creature's Champion. I'm gonna be greedy. We're gonna try to go for the Magda here. Hopefully that last card in hand is not a removal spell. Stern Scolding. Yeah, well, okay. That's fine. So now they have nothing. So now we just get to start smacking them for 6 every turn if they draw nothing. And if we ever draw a plains, the game basically ends, I would imagine. Plains. It's Fire Blast. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and do the Death Creature's Champion trick over and over again. This plays around, like, I could just leave it for a more consistent bit of damage, but I'd rather dash it out over and over again because maybe there's more sorcery speed removal when we're in black. Potentially, not necessarily. There's a lot of instant speed stuff, but in any case, my opponent has done the absolute perfect thing for me and given me my white source. So I'm eternally grateful for that. So if my opponent does not draw something right now, they're basically cooked. Dauthi Voidwalker is a very, very strong magic card. And notably, they are going to get to take the City's Blessing from me. Or, not the City's Blessing. Yeah, let's just make the game completely unreachable for the opponent. So we'll go 4th Aerlingus for X is 3. And then we'll attack for 3. Or sorry, attack for 6. And then I'm probably going to Fire Blast the Dauthi Voidwalker because that's like the only way they could possibly come back in this game from this point is if they draw a bomb. So I want to minimize the potential for that. But we're going to draw a card first. Yeah, let's just go ahead and kill this. And then pass the turn. So yeah, that was pretty gross. And they concede. Yep, they're not coming back from that. So yeah, that game was not looking great, but a Fiery Confluence did its thing. We will go ahead and jump into the final round. We are deep in the trenches. We are trying to go 2-1, and that would be great. So yeah, the deck is really fun. I love mono red decks, but obviously the deck has some problems, but you can't complain. And yeah, only a couple more days left of this cube. There's still the arena cube out, but I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of research and development, so to speak, on Tarkir Dragonstorm, as I will be playing in Denver in the limited Spotlight series. Very much looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And the set looks great. It looks like an Abzan and Mardu format, but it looks great. We'll see. Blue has some like defensive tools. Maybe there's something there. But this hand has Inti into Phoenix, possibly Gut. Can we draw Voldaren Epicure off the top? Nope. Never lucky, but that's okay. All right, Arid Mesa, so I'm just going to assume, yep, Arid Mesa and a Steam Vent, so probably some kind of Omnath pile, if I had to guess. Okay, Prismatic Vista, so their fixing's pretty good. Let's see what we draw. All right, well, we're just going to play an Inti. Yeah, they're blue and red. They probably have like removal spells or... Okay, maybe they're waiting to fetch, or they're waiting to use their card draw spell after they fetch to... Okay, so plane cycling. All right, so they got a Sacred Foundry, maybe a Jeskai control deck. I love Jeskai control decks. So you get to play like all my favorite cards. You get to play Lightning Bolt, you get to play Lightning Helix, you get to play counter spells and mana leaks and memory lapse. Dak Faden, powerful card. So not particularly good against me. All right, let's see what we got. Well, there's the Oliphant. Pretty sure we just go Detectives. Yeah, let's go Detectives Phoenix, and then we'll swing out at Dak to kill Dak. We don't want them drawing into anything. I'm not going to discard anything because I don't get any value, and I don't care about pumping up one of my creatures yet. It's unclear. Okay, they go City of Traders, so they have access to 5 mana this turn. Pyrogoyf for 4, or for 3 rather. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Notably, I gotta be real careful with the whole, if I burst lightning the Pyrogoyf, then I grow the Goyf, so to speak, because currently there's no instance in the graveyard. But if we go Chainsaw plus burst lightning, that's 5 damage. This does not live. So hit them for 2. Yeah, and I think that, yeah, we're going to do that over like playing a gut because we don't want to expose the gut to removal. Notably, this does not really work. If my opponent has a 1 mana removal spell for Detectives Phoenix, that will put an enchantment in the graveyard. So there's definitely some risk to this play, but I'm still going to go for it. Okay, great. That worked. All right, so we get to start our Chainsaw value. We can either like just equip and attack for 3 or 4, or we can sacrifice it to gut if we're feeling like that's just not going to be a strategy worth going for, because you know they don't seem to have a lot of creatures, so maybe the Chainsaw is not going to really pop off this particular game. But okay, they have the Stomp. Yeah, I don't have a response. But what we can do is go, we could go Oliphant, Detectives Phoenix, the Oliphant on, or Detectives, I can't talk. We could give Gut, Haste, and Flying. That's what I was trying to say. Let's find out if we want to do that. That's interesting. So we have the opportunities to... We could wait. I think if we could haste out the Oliphant this turn, I'd be more inclined to do that. But instead, what I'm going to do is... Yeah, let's Oliphant, Mountain Cycle. We don't have enough mana to do this with the Elegant Parlors, so we will get the Plateau, play the Plateau, play out the Guts, give it +2/+2 flying and haste by exiling the Oliphant. And then we'll attack, and then we'll sacrifice the Chainsaw, make a 4/1 with Menace. Now we're at 2-turn clock all of a sudden. So opponent probably wasn't expecting to take that much damage out of nowhere. Yeah, that's crazy. That was excellent. Gut is broken. Detectives Phoenix is really good in this deck because we have the Oliphant. Like, we have 3 free quote unquote spells that just put themselves in the graveyard and are 6 mana value. So it's absolute. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, 3. Oliphant, Fire Blast, and Pyrokinesis. So, yeah, excellent. And of course, Gut, just doing Gut things. So, I don't see the need for any changes. Just looked like a kind of a Jeskai pile, maybe Jeskai control, some removal. I didn't see any artifacts or enchantments, so I don't think I need to side in the Loran or anything like that. So I'm just going to run it back. Just run it back. All right, and we're on the draw. This hand looks fine. Little bit on the expensive side, but of course this is really like a land. Ooh, turn 1 Soul Ring. That's not what you want to see. All right, we'll go ahead and Mountain, and then there's like a 99% chance we are just going to go ahead and Mountain Cycle for something. Okay, what do you have? 4 mana. Yeah, that's pretty good. 4 mana on turn 2 allows you to do busted stuff like Rampaging Raptor. So let's go to end step. And then let's think about the next turn. Do we want the untapped land or the tapped land? I mean, we're getting beat down. We just need to stay on curve and do things. So yeah, let's play that. We'll go Inti. And then we're not currently dying by this. The most we can take from this is 6. Go to 10. We always have Fire Blast as like a backup, you know? Like an emergency button. Yeah, that's fine. Not looking great. Oh, they just get to play it too? Yeah, that's pretty gross. But we actually have... Okay. We have a good defensive strategy now. So now we just do the rare defensive Death Creatures Champion. Because it always has double strike, not just when it enters. So we can do that. And then it just hold it up, basically. This checks the Bone Crusher Giant, and then maybe they go all in on the Rampaging Raptor. Like, they could potentially have... Yeah, they have 6 mana this turn. They can pump this twice if they want. Doesn't seem like they're going to do that. Looks like they have a play. Headliner Scarlet? Oh, no. Oh, if that enters, my things can't block. That's not great. Yeah, unfortunate. So yeah, we're just gonna have to let this happen. Okay, so they get to swing out, but we'll Fire Blast away the... Yeah, this is 11, so yeah, we can't afford to take this. So we'll Fire Blast the Rampaging Raptor. Okay, we only take 7, go to 5. Card's nuts. Headliner Scarlet. So now I think we're forced, unfortunately, to... Well, how much damage can we do? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, never mind. Firebolt and Burst Lightning the Headliner Scarlet, because we don't want them to draw more cards. That is a way that we lose the game. Because right now, we're okay. We're stable. If opponent does nothing, they have 3 cards in hand. It's probably not looking good here. If they have any removal, we're pretty much cooked. Oh, look, they have their own Death Creatures Champion. That's... yeah. Well, probably dead here. I mean, we're forced to block, and then we go to 1. And then I just don't see a way we get out of this. And a Generous Plunderer. So that's... yeah. Yep. Is there anything I can draw off of the Amped Raptor? No, there's nothing that gets me out of this. So we're just going to go ahead and not show them that. Okay. Yep, pretty... Turns out that turn 1 Soul Ring is pretty good. So, again, like, you could argue to bring Loran in against the Soul Ring, but I don't know. The Soul Ring's already given them their value. You're really not going to be changing much just by playing Loran necessarily. So yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and submit it back as is. I think the deck's strong enough. Just have to have a good curve. We are on the play, which helps. This is a totally fine hand, which we will keep. So this is probably going to be turn one. Yeah, so we get to go turn one cycle. And then we could probably just get the Surveil land. Okay. So we're going to Mountain Cycle. No turn one Soul Ring is nice. We're going to get the Surveil land this time. And then we're probably not going to, we're going to wait until, yeah, we're definitely going to wait until turn 3 to play it. So that way we can just go ahead and get in with the Robber of the Rich. And then we see an Ancestral. Okay, that's huge. So if we can get to next turn without the Robber dying, we get to cast a free, okay, well, why you gotta be like that? But what they don't realize, Generous Plunderer is a rogue. So if we get to attack with this, we get to play the Ancestral. So that is sweet. Let's go Elegant Parlor. Just try to get lands off the top of the deck. It's a good land, but it's a land. Don't need that. And we'll play a Generous Plunderer. Okay, hopefully the opponent doesn't realize that this is a rogue and we are actually able to cast the... Well, why you gotta be like that? That's just rude. Maybe they just know. All right, unfortunate. Let's go Voldaren Epicure. And then discard a mountain into Eulalia. Love it. Yep. Let's go Eulalia. Don't kill it, please. No, my 4th Aerlingus. I wanted that next turn. That's unfortunate. But, okay, they didn't kill Eulalia. We're looking pretty good. So, let's see if they have something here. Pyro. Oh, God. Okay. Yep. That's pretty good. That's a game loss. I can't kill it. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this one. If I attack, they never block. It's like the most obvious thing in the world. So, yeah, we just yield, and then we're probably dead. Unfortunate. Really wanted to cast their Ancestral, but yeah, their deck's pretty good. It's got the cheap removal, got the good big red plays. It's kind of like my deck, except, oh god. Yeah, that's pretty much over. Now they get to draw a card every turn. They're holding back with the Pyrogoyf for some reason. I don't really think they have to. This is not a rogue. It does not trigger the FOMO. All right. This attacking through does not trigger the Ancestral Recall or anything. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to fear missing out. Try to turn one of these lands into a relevant spell. That's Chandra. That's a good card. That's a good card. Yeah, we're going to play Chandra. We can still come back. I think unfortunately, yeah, we just have to kill the Headliner Scarlet. That's way too much value. And then Voldaren Epic here, definitely going to be on chumping duty here. All of a sudden, the game's a little closer. But they're playing things. If it's Adeline, oh, that guarantees that Chandra dies. Unfortunate. Yeah. Yep, both at Chandra. So, am I willing to trade Epicure for right. Yep. Yep. All at Chandra. So let's eat. I guess. Chandra's going to die no matter what. A little unfortunate. And we don't have enough to... Oh my gosh. Now the Adeline just solos me. How many card types do we have in the bin? We don't have sorcery. I mean, I guess I technically turn on the FOMO by firebolting. But then I attack for 4. Oh, actually, that's not horrifying. So we could hit their face. That's an option. Maybe that's like the only option. Because we're definitely losing this race, 100%. But the only way we can possibly win is if we go like Firebolt here and deal like 6 points with the Firebolt and the double fear of missing out and they don't block. And then we draw into Fiery Confluence. So I guess we just have to play to our outs. This does give me Delirium. So now we get to attack twice. Untap the FOMO. Unfortunately, I also grow the Goyf, but there's not really much I can do. Yeah, they block for free. That's what happens. We attack again with the FOMO. They block? Okay, they do block. That makes sense. Okay, well, at least their clock's a little smaller now. Not by much, but it's something. Wow, their Pyrogoy's an 8/9? Oh, they discarded the Esper Sentinel, which is also an artifact. Yeah, okay, now they're on a 2-turn clock. That's rough. Let's see what else they do. Well, Soul Ring's a little worse now on turn 7 than on turn 1, but the damage is already done. I don't really have an answer to this Pyrogoyf in the deck. Flage? Oh boy, that's it. I'll concede to, I would concede to that, but let's just let the opponent have some fun. All right, and we take our draw step. Well, hold on a second now. Hold on a second. Oh man, so close. Yeah, well, the Pyrogoyf cannot kill the Pyrogoyf. And then if I Pyrogoyf hit the... Oh, wait, no. Bonecrusher Giant, when it becomes a target of a spell, hold the phone. This game might not be over yet. If we go Pyrogoyf, kill their Bonecrusher Giant... Okay. I think the problem now is they just go... Wait, they're just going into combat? They're just attacking? They're not escaping Flage? All they had to do was escape Flage and hit the Pyro... They must have something else. I mean, clearly. They must have, like, a shock or something. They wouldn't just do that. Yeah, they have a shock. Oh, I see. They're doing it in the... they're just doing it in the reverse order. That's probably... Oh no, they killed their own Pyrogoyf. Oh, because they escaped the artifact. I mean, we're still probably dead. Like, there's no way we can deal enough damage to them, and we can't deal with the Flage, but opponent kind of messed up. Wow, Soul Ring and Mox Ruby? Opponent's deck's very, very strong. Dak Faden, yeah, I mean, sure. And they have Ragavan too? Sheesh. All right, well, that is the GG's. So I will go out on my own terms and firebolt myself. Unfortunate. Went 1 and 2. Yeah, GG's to you as well, opponent. Yeah, so went 1 and 2. Unfortunate. Deck was cool. It was definitely lacking in terms of the kind of the cheaper end of things, and also didn't have any power. And then we got a little unlucky there, just not drawing the in a couple of the games, not drawing the burn when we needed to. And overall, just having that lack of one drops. I mean, I think you saw the amount of times where we wanted a double spell, but we just had a bunch of 2 drops in hand, and I was afraid that would happen with the deck, and that is all right. Still had a good time. Never got to play Amped Raptor, though. I was really thinking Amped Raptor would be a good way to shell out that weakness of the deck, because if you go like Amped Raptor into any other 2-drop, that's a pretty strong play. But, oh well, that is totally fine. Still had a good time, and thanks for watching.